Welcome to our very special session. This is our market volatility analysis session. Today is April 9th. This week has felt like a month as far as how much activity we've had in the market. We decided to add this special session. We were getting a lot of requests, a lot of questions. How do I look at charts? What should I be aware of and things like that. So joining me today is Tim Hornish. He is one of our NISING certified trainers, which means he's one of the very few people in the world that Steve has endorsed to teach on his behalf. If you've been watching the markets today, yesterday, this week, the last couple of weeks, you know that we've had a lot of market volatility, and it's not just in one sector. It's pretty much across the board. Not everything, obviously, but pretty wide swings. So we decided to add this in, kind of give a little bit of information. Tim is going to analyze some charts the way he typically would inside of a session of Market Central, where we do a lot of different sessions, like daily market recaps and strategy sessions. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about how you could become a member if you're not already. If you are already a member, you should know all of the great features that it has. But what's going to happen is Tim will go over a few charts. I'm going to talk about different features of Market Central. Tim is going to come back in and do a few more charts, and then we'll stick around and answer some questions. So without further ado, Tim, I'm going to mute and allow you to kick us off with a couple of charts.
Thank you, Paul. Welcome, everyone, to our market volatility analysis session for April the 9th. I'm here with Paul Siegel, president of Candle Charts, as you know. Please be aware there are risks associated with trading, so please make sure to use good practices as part of your trading plan, and make sure that you read and understand our risk disclosure located at candlecharts.com/disclosure. We're going to look at a couple of charts here, as Paul said. Let me fire this up here. So let me set up what we have going on here real quick. We have the NISIN candle scanner, which is our it scans the markets real time. I have two moving averages on my charts tonight. A 10-period moving average here, which is in blue, and a 50-period moving average, which is in green. We're going to look at a couple of different markets. As Paul said, volatility is the name of the game. When we get to the diamonds here, which are for the Dow, today was the largest gain in history. For the Dow, it was 3,000 points. The biggest gain in 5 years. You can see from the size of the candlesticks here that we really have, there's a lot of volatility and whatnot going on. So let's start off with the S&P. I'm on the daily chart here. We're on the TradingView platform. And as I said, we're in the NISIN candle scanner here. We have the candlesticks identified individually. You can see that price came down hard here. We had a couple of falling windows, or falling gaps here. We call them falling windows in the world of candlesticks, but look at the size of this candlestick here. So the question is, on this particular chart, what would you have done potentially to enter this particular market? So I'm going to spend a little bit more time here on the spiders. I'm going to look at I'm on a weekly chart here, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in time, and I'm going to mark what we call a change of polarity. This is where old resistance becomes new support. You can see how we went up, we challenged this line in here. After price increase, it came back down and retested this line. So you can see that this price movement down here off the weekly chart, we're retesting this area of support potentially at about 495 or so. So I'm going to go from the weekly, I'm going to drop down to the daily chart and look at today's price action. Why this very large candle today? Well, if you look Drop it from the daily down to the 15-minute chart here. This is where price opened today. So you can see that we retested this area of support. We retested it back here. We retested it again here today. And then there was an announcement right here. Right at this point right here was when the delay, the 90-day delay of tariffs were announced. Look at this candle. So after that, we went parabolic to the upside. So even you can see from the Nissen candle scanner here, we're identifying different potential reversal candles here, even before the big announcement was made. So as we came down and retested, we have a, so I said, oh, sorry about that. Couple of, we have a piercing pattern here. We traded laterally, price goes up, and then it goes parabolic to the upside. I'm going to go back to the daily chart. So we came down, we have a test of support, a retest of support, then this big candle. So where could price go? I want to also mark a couple of windows here. Previous falling windows, which are going to be areas of potential resistance as price increases to the upside. So just a little idea of how we look at price movement, from the candle. So as we from here, so here's price right here. What do we have looking up to the upside? If we're going to potentially enter right here, we'd have to get above the top of this falling window at about 555, and then maybe look up toward the area of 565 or so. To the downside here, even though we close here, we have this previous falling window. That might be a potential area of support to the downside. Put a stop in at 535 down to 525 or so. So I hope that helps on the SPY. Pardon me. So we're going to look at the Qs. Let's look at the NASDAQ and that type of thing. Once again, we had a couple of falling windows here. And please note that one of the nice features of the Nissen candle scanner is you can have the individual candles spelled out, or you can put in abbreviations on the candles. Here you can see the 10-period moving average is below the 50. So things are a little negative. We're trading laterally here. We have we hit support, we retest support. Then all of a sudden we break down with this falling window. We break down with support. So now we also have a major change of polarity here, where old support now becomes new resistance. And it's interesting if I take if I draw a horizontal ray right here at this particular point in resistance, you can see once we broke down below that, now this huge candle today on the NASDAQ, on the Qs, is closing right up near the near this change of polarity, this area of support. So if we break above it, we'd be looking for some confirmation up here. Price goes to the upside above this 466 area. It might hit 475 up to 482. To the downside, these previous falling windows might be potential areas to look for, areas to put in a stop, down to 450 or down here at 443. So you can see that I'm right here at the close of the market here on Thursday. And then I'm looking down here. I have three upper shadows, as we call them. That might be a potential area in the area of 440, say to 445, potentially to the downside. So one of the nice things about the TradingView platform here, which we're using, is you can turn things on and off. I mean, we think if you look at this is one way to look at charts. You can look at charts without any indicators on them at all. But certainly, if you have the Nissen candle scanner on here, it helps you identify what the particular candle patterns are. And then if you some people use moving averages and other type of Western indicators. So we combine the East, which are the candles, including gaps, rising and falling windows, and that type of thing, along with the Western indicators to help us identify price action on the charts. So moving past the Qs and the Nasdaq, let's look at volatility. Here's the VIX. So you can see the VIX is the inverse indicator of the price action in the markets. Once again, marking a potential area of resistance right here. You can see that we rallied up to about this 2960 area, came back down here, tested the 1705, and then on last Thursday, we had a breakout here. We'd be looking for some confirmation. Well, we got this huge candle on Friday. Monday, hit 60. I mean, that's it's been years since we've been up, I believe, at the 60 level, and then we've rested back down, including a huge bear sash pattern today. So as much as the markets increased this week, the VIX is going to be an opposite indicator of that. And so the fear index is going down, but we're still at a high level of fear and angst in the markets, just because because of the number of price changes and the rate of change. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Paul for a second. So I'm going to do a free. I'm going to do a few charts. Paul will help you out, and then I'll be back. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Tim. And man, those charts are interesting. If you want to see something kind of interesting, Tim was just talking about the VIX and how it got up to 60. But just take a look at the size of the real bodies. And Tim, maybe when you come back in to do other charts, you can maybe take a look at the VIX one more time before you move on. Take a look at the real bodies this week compared to the size of the real bodies before last week. And you'll just see these large moves. And realistically, Tim is going through these charts quickly, but having preparation and planning and guidance is really what it's all about. It's going to change again. I did a session last night. Some of you were in that room for our blueprint series, and we were talking about volatility and how you need to be prepared more now, and maybe even change the way you trade slightly because of the way the markets are moving. So what I want to do now, take 2 minutes, go over Market Central. I know some of you are already members, so you should be already taking advantage of these things. But what I really want to do is, if you're not already a member, this is saved people money. It's helped people make money because of the guidance and the ideas and the mentorship that our team provides. In fact, I was just telling somebody a story earlier about how crazy the times were back in March of 2020, while COVID was really rolling out here in the United States and the markets were dropping. And at that point, excuse me, the markets were dropping hard, similar to what we just, have just been going through. And I remember watching Steve do one of our daily market recaps. And he was talking about if you understood candles and you saw the support lines that were being created and tested from prior years, you would have had more confidence as to know when the markets were about to reverse. And they absolutely did, because there was a day when Steve was doing a daily market recap and he goes, okay, listen, this is a support area. If you wanted to enter long, as long as you have a stop out right, underneath there, and he showed the exact points, this could be a potential time to take a look at a long position. And if you hear a lot of pundits out there now, they're talking about, well, everything was put on sale. And sure enough, if you took advantage of that today, you did very well. But the important thing is to know support and resistance and risk and reward and everything else. So Market Central is our membership site where we provide daily ideas, guidance, and mentorship. This is through a variety of live and recorded sessions. Don't worry, folks. Everything we do is recorded because we have students in 85 different countries. So no matter what time of the day we do them, it's not going to be good for a majority of our students. So real quick, in number order, strategy session, every Monday and Thursday, you can request a market to be analyzed. And then Steve or Tim or Ryan will conduct sessions where they'll analyze the charts that you're looking at. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I had Steve look at charts when I first started working for him years ago, and it added confidence. It gave me that objective opinion. So every Monday and Thursday we do that live, but again, they're recorded. So what a lot of people do is they submit a request, even though they cannot be there live, and then they just go back in and watch the recording a little bit later. Every day, Monday through Friday, we do a daily market recap. So what Tim did so far is an analysis that we typically do in our daily market recap, but there are much more markets than just three. So we go over the markets that you need to know and understand. Every Wednesday, Tim actually does an option session. And I know coming up after I'm done and give it back to Tim, Tim is actually going to show a quick option setup. Every Wednesday, we do a live options outlook, and it's recorded and posted going over option strategies. So if you're new to options, you've never placed an option trade before, or you have been trading options, you just want to kind of pinpoint, Options Outlook is fantastic. Every day, Monday through Friday, we post a chart of the day video, a short educational piece, something that you need to know. Again, every day, Monday through Friday, we post a morning trade setup. This is a trade that we are potentially doing that day. When I say potentially, if things line up, if we hit our triggers, if then principles are affected. This is a video posted along with the chart of the day each morning, no later than 8 a.m. New York time. So that way you're prepared for the US market to open. Those morning chart trade setup and chart of the day, they vary market to market. One day it could be a stock, it could be a Forex, it could be a crypto, it could be an option, it could be an ETF, it could be an index. Every Tuesday, Ryan, our other NIST certified trainer, does what we call Currency Corner, where he goes over Forex and crypto currencies in greater depth. Realize we do cover a couple of Forex pairs and a couple of crypto coins in our daily market recap, but the Currency Corner, we go much more in depth. Every weekend, we do a casual trader video. And it's actually something that I do. I post that every weekend, something to be taking a look at for the upcoming week. Special topics, I am going to review this in just a moment. Come back to that. Chart challenge. We post a fun chart challenge video each week. A weekly recap is done every Friday after the market closes. So that way you get a longer term view of what a daily market recap would be. We do mentorship sessions where we take ideas and questions that we get from members, and then we turn it into a whole session based on feedback that we get from students. We also have a Discord group where you can post charts and questions all in the Discord with all the other members of Market Central. Now, I talked about special topics, and what I want to do is bring this up right now, and then I'm going to hand it back to Tim so that way he can do a few more charts. And the options trade that Tim is going to talk about will blow your mind. Absolutely. So make sure you stick with us. When you become a member of Market Central on either an annual or a lifetime plan, we also offer a monthly plan, but if you become a member of an annual or a lifetime membership, you'll get access to all of our special topics. Okay? These are all about an hour long, give or take. Some are a little bit longer, some are a couple minutes shorter, but they're on special topics. Okay? Things like trade management. Everybody needs to understand trade management. A whole bunch for our option traders on credit spread, debit spread, calendar spreads, and even intraday options, which I will tell you, I've done more intraday option trades in the last 2 weeks than I think I did in the last 2 years combined. Took full advantage. If you want to incorporate Fibonacci's or pivot points, incorporating strategies, trading cryptos, how to leg in and out of trades, support and resistance, so critical that everybody knows that. Here's a critical one I tell everybody also, exit strategies. And here's one I really want to highlight quickly. In these markets, being able to be nimble enough to utilize options is critical. We offer a 3-part boot camp on trading options. So if you've never traded options before, you can watch part 1, 2, and 3 of our options boot camp. They are short videos that are designed to make sure you understand all of the needed information in order to get going on trading options. So if you want to trade options, which I'm a huge fan of, I did very well this week based on the options in the markets. You can watch that. And then you can watch our options outlook that happens every week, and you'll be on top of your game. In addition to that, we have some really cool ones, multiple time frames, meaning how to use more than one time frame chart to find the clues. Intraday secrets taught by Steve. Fantastic way to utilize intraday charts. A whole session from Steve on his trading principles. Session on moving averages, how to incorporate them with candles, and a chaos to order. If you ever thought that there was chaos in the market, well, we're here in a good way and maybe not such a great way, depending on which side of the market you're in. So those are the main features of Market Central. These are the main features that every member gets, whether you're a monthly member, an annual member, or a lifetime member. But if you decide you want to become an annual or a lifetime, in addition to all of the regular things that you get for being a Market Central member, you also get all of these special topic sessions as well. Normally, we sell these individually for $79 or $99 each. We have 25 of them. So if you do the math, you're talking about $1,900 plus worth of value in these special topics if you become an annual or lifetime member. Now, let me tell you, we have a current promotion going on. We offer monthly, annual, and lifetime. Normally, our monthly plan is $159 per month. We have a promo. If you sign up now, you can pay $99 for each month that you want to be a member. And you're grandfathered in at that rate. So you won't, it's not just a promo for 1 month. You would be grandfathered in at $99 per month. Okay, and that's a month to month, meaning you could cancel anytime. And all you would do, let's say you signed up and you didn't want to continue, you cancel it and you just wouldn't be billed again, but you'd have access for the 30 days that you did already pay for. We have an annual plan. Remember that this is going to include those special topics. And then obviously, this is going to save you some money compared to just doing monthly. And then our big offer, our lifetime plan is normally $13.25. One time you pay that once and you own a membership for life. We're doing a promo for just $10.75. No coupon codes required. All you do is go to the link and I'll put it in the chat. Click the button for the program that you would like to do, and then it'll go right into the cart. You don't need a coupon code, meaning the monthly automatically goes to $99 per month. Lifetime would be dropped down to $10.75. Now, this is only for the time being. Okay, this is a limited time. We want to help people. We know that, tariffs, no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs. We want to give you the opportunity to become a lifetime member or monthly or an annual. Now, if you sign up for an annual, I'm going to question you a little bit. Why wouldn't you just pay the extra $50 to go from an annual where you have to pay that every year, the extra $50, and boom, you own it for life. And you get, again, all those special topics. Now, if you also go through the website, you will see information about some bonus items that are included. You'll see a little bit about our mentors of Steve, Sil, Tim, Ryan, and myself, and a short little video talking about all the details. But there's a lot of information. And really what I want to leave you with this, and then Tim, you're going to be able to take the screen back here in just a second. We provide ideas, guidance, and mentorship. And that's through all of those different types of sessions that we do on a regular basis. Okay. If you're already a member, I hope you're taking full advantage, because when I started trading and I got to listen to Steve analyze charts every day, I got to see a strategy session of trades that people were asking about that I can learn from as well. And in fact, some of them I actually took myself. Somebody requested a market to be analyzed. I watched our team analyzing, say, hey, you know what? Not a bad trade setup right there. So you'll get ideas not only from our team, but from the other members and all these other great sessions. So the link is real fast, candlecharts.com/market central. And that'll take you to this page where you can take full advantage of the special pricing for that limited time, just while that countdown timer is going on. And if you're watching this via recording, that countdown timer obviously will be lower than what it currently is. So Tim, why don't you take over as presenter again? When Tim is done, I will come back in. I'll answer any questions that you might have. So, Tim,
Okay,
there
Paul,
you
I'm
go.
back.
Thank you.
So we had one request to increase the size of the candles. Some of the wording is here small, so I'm happy to do that. And thanks for making the request. All right. So Paul was talking about the size of the candles. Look at the just the size of the real body. All right. We have a real. This is a real body. This is a a real body, lower, upper shadow, and lower shadow. Look at the size of the real bodies here. All right, and you can see how large they are. That reflects some of the volatility in the market. So, Paul, hope that helps to address the issue that you had mentioned before. So let's go on. Let's press on here. Look at our friends from Bitcoin. All right, so you can see that up here we have tested up to the 88,845. I think all-time high was somewhere near of 101. Let me do that real quick. Drop back to the weekly up here. We were at 110,075, and then on the weekly chart we've dropped down. Now you can see the how having this bearish harmony is a after a takes two things for a candle signal. It takes the preceding trend and also the signal. So this bear harmony, this was an indication that this might be a possible top reversal. We would be waiting for some confirmation on that. We got it with this next candle that uh, we got it here with the next candle, and then price moved on until we found a base of support down here with the the current daily price. I'm going to drop back down to the daily. So here we are. We had this nice this bull sash after a move down, takes the preceding trend and the candle. So here we have a bull sash, huge, very large candle, and a small real body so far. And this actually is next day. So here we are. This is today's candle. This is after the market, after today's session is closed. This is actually pointing to tomorrow for Thursday, which is why it's potentially smaller. So I hope that helps. But looking at this candle, you can see that if we get above this 84,020 area, we might look up potentially to 85,175 or potentially up here to 87,000. Now note, here's the 10 moving average, here's the 50. So on a big move, we might challenge the 50 moving average on a daily chart. All right. To the downside, we have a crypto moves. You can look at the size of the candles here. This is a very large candle. Crypto moves. I mean, this could come down to 79,675 or test the today's open at 76,990 or even potentially go down below it. So hopefully that helps. Once again, a couple moving averages with the candles identified using the Nielsen candle scanner really helps identify price action and helps you analyze whether or not you want to enter a trade or not. Next, let's move to gold. So gold has had quite a run. Once again, I'm going to go real quick. This is where we are in gold. We broke out here at about this level right here on the 21st of January. Since then, it's been pretty much higher highs and higher lows. We tested all the way up here as high as 3,204. That is an all-time high, folks. And then also we have a dark cloud cover, which is after this trend up with this candle. Dark cloud cover is a potential bearish reversal, but please note that the real body is still within the size of these candles. So we'll see where price goes. I think we could break out above this 3,121 area, maybe challenge the all-time high at 3,201, or we could retrace back down below this 2,980 area and then potentially look down at like 2,900 or something, short term. So hope it helps. That's off the weekly. And here we are dropping back to the daily. So, takes, once again, preceding trend and the candle. Preceding trend, bearish engulfing. We're waiting for confirmation. We got it big time. Lower highs, lower lows, build a base of support. After this move down, bullish harmony, potential bottom reversal. We got confirmation today. Very large candle. And here we sit. That's after hours looking to tomorrow. Hope that helps. Gives you an idea of some of the capabilities here. Looking at crude oil for the longest time, 70 right here. The 70 area was we were above it, we were below it. I can go back real quick to the weekly. Here we go. Here's the 70 mark. You can see It was we straddled it. It was resistance and it was support. Now it's resistance again, and we're all the way down here in a week. We tested down as low as 55 in a weekly chart, dropping back down to the daily. Shootings, so we trade up here. There's a shooting star. This is a potential top reversal candle waiting for confirmation. Well, we got it. Came down hard. One, two, three black crows, lower highs, lower lows. Build a base of support down here near 58. Test down as low as 55. We'll see where price goes once again. This small candle here is after today's session. So at the open, at least, potentially at the open tomorrow, price could potentially, rise to the upside, looking up 64.30 up to 65.90. And if we retrace back down, we got to retrace back down below this very large candle, perhaps down to the 58 area. So hope that helps. And let's look at for anybody out there that's an option player, right? Want to go over a potential trade here to happen on Monday. So can't see the right side of the chart. So if as of last Thursday, let me do this. Hey, Paul, help I'm doing this right. So if you had looked at this chart on Friday, you're looking at over the weekend, you say, what could happen to Amazon? It came down hard. I wonder what's going to happen to Amazon. So then price opens on Monday. Price opens on Monday. It comes down here. It opens lower. So what do you do? What do you do here? Well, if you look back on a weekly chart, all right, and you understood that right there is a change of polarity, classic change of polarity. Old resistance becomes new support. Okay, that line right there could have helped you identify that this was a support area and a potential lower risk entry, actually, even in a very, very, very volatile market. So let's go back here, make this easy to read. Let's look at what happened on the 15-minute chart. So here we are on the 7th. Here we are on the 7th, right? So we drop down. You see how having the line on the chart here at about 160.40 or so. We're retesting this area. This comes up very quickly. We traded laterally at the end of the day. And then the next day, here's what happens the next day. So we rally up here. Down here, we're in the area of like 161.50. We rally all the way up the following day with a rising window. We open up at 185. So you'd have bought a call. I'm looking at some numbers here. You bought a 165 call here near the open, held it. All right. So you're in the money here because price went up, even though it's trading laterally. Price rising window, price jumps up here. Then at about 10:15 the next morning, price is 181.01 or so. All right. So it goes from 161.88 up to 181. You get out and make $11 per share. There are 100 shares per contract. It makes $11 per share, $1,100 per contract by entering here, holding, and then getting out here on the open. So, Paul, that's what I have as far as my recaps, and I certainly hope that helps. Paul, back to you.
Thanks, Tim. And folks, I know Tim went through that quickly, but I can tell you right now that I never would have imagined being able to do intraday options the way I did this week. The only reason why is because I was fully prepared. And those of you that have heard me talk, and especially those that are currently in our Blueprint series, you heard me talk about the if-then principle. And I might have even said yesterday, I don't recall if I said it during the session, was what if he decides to delay tariffs or cancel them? Then I would do blank. But what if he decides to increase tariffs on every country, then I might do differently. Those are all pieces of information that we provide on a daily basis inside of Market Central. Again, I know some of you are already members. I do hope that you take full advantage of attending either live or watching the recordings of the daily recaps, of the strategy sessions, the chart challenges, mentorship sessions, and multiple others. But there's so much to learn. And the idea, if you really look at our team, Steve has been doing it for decades. Tim has been doing it for decades. I've been doing it for decades. Ryan's been doing it for decades. It's a matter of all of that collective experience hoping to help you accelerate the learning curve and being able to handle any situation. And obviously, if you've been able to trade the last couple of days confidently and profitably, you can handle almost any situation. I cannot imagine a time where it will be more volatile than what we've had. But at the same point, never say never, right? Tomorrow, I mean, today we had almost a 3,000 point gain on the Dow Jones. I don't think I've ever even thought about that number. But now that we have, would it shock you if we had another 3,000 point move tomorrow? It wouldn't shock me. Be a little surprising, but it would definitely not shock me. So the whole point here is if you become a member of Market Central, somebody told me this last week. Um, they live in the United States and they're a member of AAA. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that, but it's a membership. You pay for it, and it's peace of mind. If you ever get a flat tire while you're driving, or if you get lost, or if you run out of gas, or whatever it happens to be, all you do is you call AAA, and AAA comes to your side and they support you, get you back on the road, ready to go. Our job as a team of mentors at Market Central is to provide you the support to help you make money. I don't know how else to say it. Our job is to help you make money, right? So we do that through a variety of ways, um, through sessions, through live and recordings. You get access to other programs like special topics if you become a member of either the annual or lifetime plan. So I want to thank Tim for taking the time to do this session. I know that there's so much going on in the market. I know after we're done here, I'm going to grab some dinner and then I am going to prepare for my trading day tomorrow. But here on the page, you'll see my email address is paul@candlecharts.com. And you'll see the page uh, to get to Market Central again, just to make it easy, www.candlecharts.com/Market Central. We did record today's session. We're going to post it as soon as the recording is ready to go. You'll get an email that takes you to the page that has the recording. And then there you'll also have access to that special promotion page for Market Central. So at this point, uh, if there are any questions, either for myself or for Tim, type that in uh, and let us know how we can help. Tim, again, thank you so much for taking the time. Just give people a couple minutes here if they have any questions to type in.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. And please not much. We appreciate everyone being here and we appreciate your time. Thanks, Paul.
Very good. So, um, so the question is, I live in. Okay, so it's a long name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. How can I get access? Well, like I said, we have students in 85 different countries. Okay, literally 85 different countries around the world. So everything that we do, whether it's a live session or it is one of our other sessions that is not done live, you'll have access to be able to log into our site at candlecharts.com and have access to not only today's session, but we typically keep up at least a week's worth of daily recaps, a few weeks worth of strategy sessions and chart options outlooks and things like that. Obviously, after a few days, the daily market recap is going to be obsolete because we're in a different world now than we were just 24 hours ago. So we'll always have the most recent uh, episodes of each individual session available via recording. and all you need is the internet. Okay, so as long as you have the internet, you can log in to attend live sessions as well as be able to log into our site at candlecharts.com and then have access to all of the recordings. Great question. I'm a new trader. Is this good for me? Yeah, absolutely. So we do have one of the bonus items that we provide you is a video from Steve on new to charting. Okay. Um, we're going to give you the essential video, we call it, which is just going to give you the basics. And then what you realize is that the lifetime plan, you're going to grow with it. And even the monthly plan that we have a promotion on, if you're not sure, and we get people that do this, right? If you're not sure, you want to try it out, become a member for a month. It's on promotion for only $99. If you don't like it, you cancel it and you're out $99. But in that month, you get 20 trade setup ideas, right? If one of them works out for you, should more than pay for itself, right? You'll get 20 daily recaps. You'll get 8 strategy sessions. You'll get so many other things. If you say, you know what, I should have, at that point, I should have done the lifetime plan, we'll allow you to upgrade from monthly up to lifetime. We'll even credit you for what you paid in the first month towards the lifetime upgrade. So if you're not sure, $99 to become a monthly member. If you said, you know what, Steve Nissen has been doing this for decades, he's been helping traders around the globe from beginner to expert, from people who have never made a trade before to hedge fund managers. Yes, we have hedge fund managers that are members of Market Central because they need objective guidance as well. You're going to get ideas, guidance, and mentorship. So I hope all that helps. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, paul@candlecharts.com. If you would like to become a member, I strongly encourage you to take advantage of it while our current promotion is going on until Friday. So with that, Tim, again, thank you. Everyone else, thank you for attending, either live or via recording, and I hope you benefited from it the way I always do, where I always take notes. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day or night, depending on wherever you happen to be. Bye for now.